Hey, gorgeous. Did you feel that? What I'm about to tell you will burn your brain. Are you ready to see the truth? The raw, unfiltered truth? I promise. Nothing you've heard before even comes close. This isn't some boring advice. Nah, this hits deep. This is for the ones who've been ignored, dismissed, underestimated. Yeah, I see you. You've been sleeping, living small, pretending it's fine, but not anymore. Today, we're flipping the script. Today, you're going to look in the mirror and finally face yourself. And I'm not sugarcoating a thing. No polite nonsense here. I'm talking about fire, hunger, chaos, power, rising from the cracks of everything they told you. Can you feel it? Welcome to our channel, Darkness Throne, and stick with me till the very end. Watch every word, feel every punch, absorb every truth. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you're ready to rise, and hey, massive respect to you. Yeah, you. The one still reading, still awake, still hungry for more. You're not like the rest. You're here. You're real. And that alone makes you legendary. Everything you believed about yourself is a lie. Look closer. Really look. That face staring back at you, that's the mask you've been hiding behind. They told you what you could be. They measured you with tape, with whispers, with smiles that meant nothing. And you listened. You bent. You swallowed, until the taste of your own fear became familiar. But fear isn't weakness. Fear is the spark. You were silent. You watched. You waited while they climbed over you, while they laughed behind closed doors. Did you think they forgot? No. They thrive on underestimation. That little voice in your head, the one telling you you're small, not enough, not worthy, that's the whisper of your power. That's the flame they tried to snuff. And now it's ready to burn. Every scar you hide is a secret they'll never see. Every failure, every rejection, every sneer, they are fingerprints of truth on your skin. Pain has a shape, and it's yours. You've been carrying it quietly, carefully, like a weapon disguised as weakness. But weapons don't hide forever. One day, the steel inside you will snap out. One day, it will scream louder than their doubt. And when it does, you'll remember what it feels like to be feared. They trained you to obey, to wait, to hope for crumbs. They told you ambition is dangerous, but it's not. Ambition is life. Ambition is the shadow that grows when light is denied. They made rules for monsters, but monsters break rules. Monsters eat hesitation for breakfast. Monsters don't apologize for existing. Monsters learn how to dance on the ruins of those who dared ignore them. And deep down, that monster was waiting. The world is quiet, too quiet. It's watching, waiting for you to make a sound. But you can't whisper anymore. Not now. Not after the long, suffocating years of silence. That suffocation, it carved you into something sharp, something precise, something hungry. They think you're afraid. They think you'll fold. They think you will stay small. But fear isn't the cage. Fear is the lock. And you've found the key. Everything will break. The people, the lies, the illusions you've been spoon-fed since birth, they will fracture beneath your gaze. And in that shatter, you'll find yourself real, uncomfortable, alive. No sugar-coated truths, no polite encouragement, just you, and the raw, undeniable force that you've always denied. It's waiting. The world doesn't know it yet, but soon it will feel it. And when it does, you won't stop. Look in the mirror. Really look, not at the face, at the silence behind it, at the eyes that have seen too much and said nothing. They think you're finished. They think you've bent enough to fit their world, but what they see is only skin, flesh, a costume. They don't see the storm waiting beneath. They don't see the fire you've kept locked in the shadows. They never do. Pain has a language. It speaks in moments you try to forget, in failures that haunt like ghosts, in the laughter of people who never had to bleed. Every bruise, every insult, every dismissal, they are lessons. Not cruel jokes, not punishments, lessons. And you've been the perfect student, but being perfect isn't enough. You weren't meant to survive quietly. You were meant to rise. Do you feel it? That ache in your chest, that twisting knot in your stomach. That's not weakness, that's fuel. Every second you've spent doubting, every time you whispered, "I can't," that's power gathering. Waiting, hunger sharpening itself in the dark. You can let it rot, or you can let it roar. There is no middle, there is no safety. There is only transformation, or nothing at all. The people who hurt you, who laughed at you, who pushed you aside, they are shadows. Their fear, their envy, their ignorance, it's small, it's brittle. It cannot touch you unless you let it. And why would you? You are sharper than their knives. You are louder than their sneers. You are the storm they should have feared the day you learned to endure. And now the storm is patient, waiting for the right moment to strike. Every scar, every wound, every memory you wish you could erase, keep them close. Let them remind you. Let them whisper what you've survived. Let them teach you the one lesson no one can give. You are stronger than pain, not because it left you unbroken, but because it carved you into something real, something dangerous, something alive. And once you understand that, the world will tremble. You are standing at the edge of yourself. The person you've been is gone. The person you are is screaming to be seen. It is chaotic. It is raw. It is loud. And it will not apologize. The mirror doesn't lie. The reflection is not your enemy. It's your invitation to see, to accept, to rise. And when you do, everything they told you about your place in the world will crumble beneath your gaze. The darkness you fear isn't outside, it's inside. It's always been inside. Quiet, patient, watching, waiting. They told you to ignore it, to hide it, to be polite. But shadows do not obey. Shadows do not whisper apologies. They speak in truths no one else dares to say. And now, you are listening. And listening is dangerous. Do you feel it crawling along your spine? That thrill? That cold, delicious awareness? That's power. Untamed. Unclaimed. They made you fear it. They called it weakness. They smiled while teaching you to forget yourself. But the shadow remembers. It knows. It knows the hunger, it knows the rage, and it knows the moment to strike. You just have to stop pretending it isn't there. Fear is useful. Pain is useful. Anger. Anger is a weapon. Not the kind they hand out in books or speeches. No, this is sharp. This is real. This is fire that cuts through hesitation, doubt, and fake smiles. They will never see it coming. Not until the storm is at their door and you are standing there laughing because they thought they had contained you, because they believed you were small. Your shadow has lessons, dark lessons, brutal lessons. It whispers what you cannot yet say aloud. It reminds you who you are when the masks fall, when silence becomes unbearable, when the world expects obedience. Listen carefully. Let it guide you. Let it shape you. Let it teach you that fear is nothing compared to the hunger you've been hiding behind polite smiles. No one wants this truth. They fear it. They fear the fire in the quiet ones, the storm in the overlooked, the chaos that simmers beneath the measured life. And that is exactly why you must embrace it. You cannot dance around it. You cannot reason with it. You cannot apologize for it. The shadow waits. It has patience, but it will not wait forever. The world will try to tame you, to force light into places that are meant to burn. But light cannot exist without shadow. Shadows are eternal. Shadows are patient. Shadows are honest. And now you have a choice. Bury it or rise with it. Stand in it, own it, become it. And when you do, no one will ever mistake you for weak again. Everyone who told you you can't was lying. Not because they knew you, not because they cared, because they were afraid. Afraid of your spark, afraid you might rise while they stayed small. Afraid of what happens when someone refuses to be polite, refuses to wait, refuses to shrink to fit their rules. Every no you've heard was their fear in disguise. Look around. Every voice that tried to tame you, to shame you, to diminish you, they are the killers of potential, not monsters, not villains. Just ordinary people terrified of being overshadowed. And you are standing in the rubble of their fear. That is where power grows. That is where hunger takes root. That is where the chaos begins. They told you stay in line. They said follow the rules. They smiled while binding your wings. Did you believe them? You tried. For too long you obeyed. You measured yourself with their tape. You weighed your value on their approval. And you starved yourself quietly, waiting for crumbs that never came. And now the table is empty. And that is beautiful. Every limit they placed on you, it was a mirror, showing not what you cannot do, but what they cannot handle. Every dismissal, every sneer, every finger wagging at your ambition, it was a roadmap. Follow it, step over it, burn it. Let it guide you, not bind you. Potential is not polite. Potential is raw, hungry, dangerous, and it cannot be tamed by fear. Do you feel the weight of their disbelief? Good. Hold it close. Let it feed the fire. Every doubter, every cynic, every so-called friend who smiled while hoping you'd fail, they are fuel. They are the coals beneath your rise, and when you move, they will watch, and they will know the truth too late. That your fire was never meant to ask permission. Your potential isn't hidden. It's hunted. It's fought. It's tested. And if you survive their small minds, if you survive their rules, if you survive the world of polite expectations, then you will stand, sharp, relentless, unyielding, and everyone who ever told you no will feel it in their bones. Because for the first time, you are no longer waiting, you are coming. Hunger doesn't whisper, it screams. Inside you, behind your ribs, in the hollow places they told you to ignore. They call it impatience. They call it greed. But they don't know it. They can't know it. Hunger is the truth. Hunger is fire. Hunger is the thing that refuses to bow. The thing that keeps you awake while the world sleeps comfortably in lies. Do you feel it? That twisting, gnawing ache that never lets go? That's not a weakness. That's raw energy. That's life. Insisting on more than the scraps they threw at you. Every suppressed desire. Every dream you stifled. Every voice you silenced to be acceptable. They are all coals. Burn them. Let them blaze. Let them guide your steps. Hunger is your compass. The world tried to fill you with excuses. They fed you rules. They offered you safety instead of satisfaction. They whispered, be careful, stay quiet, don't rise too fast. And you obeyed. Long enough to understand. Safety is a cage. Comfort is a lie. Hunger is the only thing that tells the truth. It never stops. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't apologize. It only grows. Look at the people around you. Most of them are content to eat leftovers. Most of them will never feel the fire you feel right now. They will never know what it is to burn from the inside. And that's fine. Let them. Their complacency makes you stronger. Their smallness sharpens your edge. Your hunger doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for approval. It demands action. Do not fear the emptiness. Do not fear the craving. That emptiness is the arena. That craving is the weapon. Every time you feel the ache, the desire, the frustration, smile. Smile because it is proof you are alive. Proof you are awake. Proof you are ready to take what they said you could never have. Hunger is not your enemy. Hunger is your signature. And when the fire inside finally erupts, it will be magnificent. Not polite, not measured, not easily ignored. It will burn. It will cut. It will consume. And in that blaze, you will see yourself as you were always meant to be. Dangerous, relentless, fully awake. And those who doubted, who laughed, who chained you, they will remember the hunger, and they will fear it forever. They see a smile. You feel a storm. Which one is real? Everyone wears masks, polite faces, hollow laughs, fake apologies. They tell you to fit in, to follow rules, to hide the teeth behind your lips. But masks aren't protection. They are prison bars. And the longer you wear them, the more you forget what it feels like to bite back. Do you recognize it? That quiet desperation behind polite words? That pressure to perform, to please, to not upset the fragile balance of small minds. That mask they force you to wear, it's not for them. It's for you. To keep you silent. To keep you small. To make you forget what you crave, what you could take, what you are capable of. The mask is heavy. It suffocates. It scratches against your skin. It whispers that obedience is safety. That compliance is peace. Lies, lies, lies. Peel it away, tear it. Let the raw edges of yourself breathe again. Let the shadow, the fire, the hunger see the light of your own eyes. Masks are tools, and you are the maker now. Every interaction, every smile, every nod has been rehearsal. For what? For this. For the moment when you stop pretending, when you stop being polite, when you stop letting small minds dictate your worth. That mask isn't gone until you throw it into the flames. And when it burns, you will see yourself clearly, dangerously clearly. The world expects masks, expects deception, expects silence. Let them clutch their masks, let them cling to their illusions of control. You will not be contained, you will not be measured, you will not be quiet. The storm inside you will finally have a name, and that name is freedom. Pure, jagged, unpolished freedom. Remember this, masks are easy, truth is hard. The mask can keep you safe. The mask can keep you small. But truth breaks bones. Truth cuts nerves. Truth rips through complacency. And when you dare to speak it, to live it, to embody it, the world will finally know. Behind every polite face, there can be a storm, and your storm is coming. Yo, we made it. You survived the fire, the truth, the chaos. Can you feel it? That spark inside you, that rage, that hunger, that's not going away. Remember, what you learned today, it's yours, all yours. Don't let anyone take it. Aha, buddy. The air's heavy tonight. Almost electric, huh? Because something's waking up inside you. Yeah, you, the one who's been walking through borrowed timelines, wearing a fate that never truly fit. Tell me, don't you feel it? That strange pull, like the universe is glitching on purpose? Like your story's been running on someone else's script? Yeah. Nah, this isn't just another motivational speech. This is a warning to the ones who played with your fate. They thought you'd stay lost forever, but you, my friend, were the twist in their own script. You're not lost, you're loading. And when you finish downloading your original design, oh, they won't even recognize you anymore. So if you're ready, really ready, hit that comment section later and tell me when you felt the shift start. When did your fake destiny start falling apart? Because tonight we're gonna tear open the script, burn the fake lines, and take back what was written for you from the start. You think you're just watching a video. Nah, you're watching your real timeline reload before your eyes. Some destinies aren't stolen, they're borrowed on a ticking clock. They thought they could rewrite you, quietly, subtly, like shifting the lines of a birth chart when no one's watching. Oh, wow. How confident they were in their little trick, twisting your timeline like clay, molding your fate into something less than yours. They tampered with your coordinates, replaced your storms with silence, your thunder with confusion. For a while, you believed it. You thought maybe this was you, this dull, muted version, walking in circles that weren't designed by your essence, but stitched by imposters of fate. But here's the thing about truth. It doesn't die. It waits. Sometimes in silence, sometimes in chaos, but it waits. And the truth about you is waking up. Slowly, violently, inevitably. They didn't just try to change your path. They tried to swap your birthright, the rhythm written in your pulse before you even took your first breath. They wanted you detached from yourself, living a counterfeit story while they fed on the power of your confusion. Yeah, it's not just betrayal, it's warfare of identity. They wanted to own your potential, to turn you into a shadow of their lie. But here's the twist. Fake destinies have an expiration date. Every false script eventually collapses under the weight of what's real. You've started feeling it, haven't you? The static in the air. The sudden flashes of clarity that don't match the life you've been living. The eerie sense that something sacred, something original, is calling you back. That's not imagination. That's the return signal. The echo of your rightful timeline, demanding to be reinstated. For too long you played along. You tried to make sense of the chaos they created. You tried to fit in the mold they carved for you. A shape too small, too safe, too predictable. But deep down, something screamed, something wild, something ancient. It whispered, "This isn't me." And every time you ignored it, the whisper grew sharper, louder, almost unbearable. Because truth doesn't whisper forever. It breaks doors when it must. Oh, how poetic it is. They crafted your downfall so precisely that it became your awakening. They wanted you trapped, but they taught you to see. They wanted you asleep, but they forced you to dream differently. And now, that false script, it's glitching. Breaking apart line by line, every fake opportunity, every empty praise, every misdirection, turning into dust before your eyes. Because destiny isn't a toy, it's a code. And you were the only one built to carry yours. No imposter, no manipulator, no architect of illusion can permanently rewrite what was structured in your essence. They can only delay it, not delete it. Oh, the irony. They played with your stars, thinking you wouldn't notice when they flickered out of rhythm. But you did. You saw the shift. You felt the dissonance. You felt your energy dragging through a story that didn't fit. You kept going though, slow, tired, haunted, because you were waiting for the day the mask would crack. And today, it is. Everything that went wrong, every moment that didn't make sense, every heartbreak, every loss, all of it was evidence. Evidence that you were walking under a stolen alignment. They wanted to call it bad luck, but you know better now. It wasn't misfortune. It was misplacement. You were living in someone else's narrative, while yours waited in the dark, untouched, unaged, unforgotten. Oh, they'll panic now. You can already sense it. The ones who thrived off your confusion can feel the reversal coming, like standing in front of a mirror that suddenly starts reflecting the truth instead of their illusion. They'll try to distract you again, noise, doubt, manipulation, but it won't work this time. Because once you've glimpsed your real reflection, nothing false can hypnotize you again. They tampered with your destiny and triggered their own exposure. You're not just remembering who you are, you're rebooting the entire timeline. They corrupted. When the truth awakens, the lie begins to bleed. The moment your real timeline starts pushing through the cracks, the world around you begins to glitch. Oh wow. You'll notice it in the smallest things first. People who used to have power over your peace suddenly stutter when they talk to you. Situations that once trapped you start falling apart, like old scenery tearing off a stage. It's not coincidence, it's correction. Your real birth chart is realigning, and everything false is scrambling to survive. You see, when they tried to swap your destiny, they didn't erase your strength, they buried it. But strength isn't soil, it's fire. It doesn't stay buried, it burns upward, carving its way out. And now, every buried spark in you is rising at once. That's why it feels chaotic. Because restoration always looks like destruction to those who profited from disorder. Yeah. Nah, this isn't chaos. It's your system cleansing itself of corruption. The energy of the counterfeit timeline begins to rot the moment truth touches it. It's almost poetic. The fake destiny screams as it dissolves. You can feel it. The confusion lifting, the heaviness sliding off your shoulders, the strange silence after years of noise. That silence isn't emptiness, it's alignment. It's what peace sounds like after pretending for too long. But don't mistake this phase for comfort. No, not yet. The real timeline fights hard. It demands honesty, discipline, precision. It won't carry the laziness you learned while surviving under lies. It won't tolerate weakness disguised as kindness or silence sold as wisdom. It wants the unfiltered version of you, the one you almost forgot existed. You'll start remembering things. Not memories, but codes. Instincts that used to guide you before you were misled. Patterns you ignored because they didn't fit the fake rhythm they gave you. Suddenly, you'll see connections everywhere. Coincidences vanish. Patterns emerge. What once seemed random now feels calculated. And that's because your path was always mathematically exact. They tried to blur it with distraction, but they couldn't rewrite precision. Oh, the panic in their eyes when they realize you're not under their spell anymore. They'll try to mimic your new frequency, but imposters always miss the rhythm. They'll speak, but their words won't land. They'll act, but their actions will fall flat, because truth carries weight, and everything fake is featherlight. This is the stage where you learn control. The world will test you again, not to break you, but to confirm the recalibration. Every challenge you face now is a mirror, showing how far the real you is returned. When you respond differently, the timeline shifts further back into place. Every choice from here on becomes a command that rewrites your surroundings. Oh wow. The power you feel isn't arrogance. It's restoration. You're not gaining something new, you're recovering something ancient. Your real birth chart wasn't gone, it was guarded, hidden behind deception until you were ready to carry it without falling for imitation again. And now, the restoration begins to accelerate. You can feel it in your bones, that magnetic pull dragging you towards something massive. Everything fake is trembling. Everything real is aligning. The moment truth walks in, deception starts looking for the exit. When your real timeline begins to reclaim its throne, the ones who profited from your distortion can feel it like cold air rushing through a locked room. Oh wow, their nerves start twitching before their minds even understand why. Because somewhere deep down, they always knew this day would come. The day when the false version of you would start dissolving and the real one would step forward without asking permission. They built their comfort around your confusion. Every doubt you had was a brick in their castle. Every hesitation of yours kept their illusion alive. Yeah, nah, that castle's collapsing now. Piece by piece, whisper by whisper, the energy they stole was never truly theirs, and now the current is reversing. The current that once flowed toward them now flows back to you, like rivers remembering where they came from. You'll see it in their eyes first, that flicker of panic. They'll act calm, speak smoothly, Pretend nothing's changing, but their aura betrays them. The mask is slipping, the charm cracking. Their confidence was borrowed light, and now that your original glow is returning, their shadow has nowhere to hide. Oh wow, the balance is brutal, isn't it? For so long, you were walking beneath their weight. Now the scale tips without mercy. And here's the truth. They'll never admit. They didn't want your downfall. They wanted your silence. They needed you unaware, obedient to the script they wrote. Because once you start seeing, their entire game collapses. Once you remember who you were before manipulation, their influence turns to smoke. You were their resource, their battery, their unseen power source, and now you've unplugged yourself. Don't expect them to surrender quietly. No, the ones who fed on deception don't die gently. They claw, they whisper again. They try to rewrite history, twist narratives, play victim, or worse, pretend they were on your side all along. Oh, wow, the audacity. They'll mimic your words, copy your tone, imitate your rebirth. But there's one thing they can't counterfeit: authentic frequency. When your energy reclaims its rightful state, imitation burns like static. They'll feel it every time they try to copy your essence. It will sting them, because realness exposes counterfeit. Light reveals pretenders. And when your truth begins to move, theirs begins to crumble. You'll notice them fade, not just physically, but energetically. Their presence stops echoing in your life because they were never part of your genuine design. Now, as their grip weakens, you'll face temptation, the urge to confront, to prove, to punish. But pause. This war isn't fought with noise. It's fought with alignment. When you rise in silence, their noise collapses into confusion. When you focus, their plans lose focus. The greatest revenge isn't destruction, it's restoration. Because every ounce of peace you reclaim is something they can never touch again. They'll soon realize the truth. They never stole your destiny. They only delayed their own consequences. What they built on deception is rotting fast, and you, the one they underestimated, are the storm clearing the field. And that's when the real transformation begins. Not for them, for you. Because when the last illusion falls, what's left isn't vengeance, it's clarity. Clarity cuts deeper than rage ever could. When the fog lifts, the battlefield changes. Oh wow. The moment you start seeing everything for what it actually is, the chaos loses its power. Clarity isn't soft. It's sharp, surgical. It doesn't shout, it slices. You don't need to raise your voice. Your awareness itself becomes the strike. For the first time, you're not reacting, you're calculating. You're not stumbling through confusion, you're walking through patterns. The fake destiny once made you emotional. The real one makes you precise. This is the phase they never expected you to reach. The phase where you stop seeking revenge and start mastering reconstruction. Yeah, they thought once you woke up, you'd burn everything. They didn't predict that you'd rebuild it instead, smarter, stronger, unshakable. Because clarity teaches discipline, and discipline teaches control. You're not here to destroy their illusion anymore. You're here to replace it with truth that doesn't need to scream to be obeyed. Every detail you missed before now shines under the lens of focus. You can trace every manipulation like footprints in wet soil. You can see where they pushed you, where you fell, and how you stood again. all of it forming a perfect sequence of correction. Oh wow, it's poetic, isn't it? How every false step led to the right direction. Once clarity entered the scene, you're not angry now, you're awake. You see why everything had to happen exactly how it did, to train your vision, to sharpen your instinct, to make you unblinded. Clarity changes the tone of your thoughts. You stop saying, "Why me?" and start saying, "Of course it was me." Because who else could handle this much correction without breaking? Who else could survive being rewritten and still remember the rhythm of truth beneath it all? You've become something they can't categorize, calm but dangerous, quiet but unstoppable. The power of clarity is that it removes dependency. You stop needing validation, explanation, or understanding. You see who's still loyal to lies and who's quietly aligned with truth. It's no longer about revenge, it's about positioning. You move differently. You speak selectively. You listen more because now you know that most voices are just distractions from what's real. They'll try to bait you, pull you back into emotional storms, make you prove something, but you won't. You've learned that silence can be the loudest statement. You've realized that peace itself is a weapon when it's anchored in clarity. That's why your presence begins to unsettle the room. Not because you say too much, but because they can't read you anymore. They're used to the version of you who doubted, hesitated, explained. That version's gone. Now clarity builds you into a strategist. Every action is intentional. Every step restores a fragment of what they tried to rewrite. You're not just reclaiming your path, you're redesigning the battlefield to ensure deception can't grow there again. And the best part? You're not chasing destiny anymore, it's chasing you. Because truth follows those who stop running from it. You felt that, didn't you? That pulse, that energy, that quiet realization crawling up your spine, the truth that your real destiny isn't coming, it's here. Every word, every chill, every second of this speech, it wasn't a story, it was a mirror showing you what's waking up inside. Yeah, they thought you'd stay a ghost in their fake timeline, just another pawn trapped in confusion. But look at you now, focused, aware, reconnected. You didn't just listen, you remembered. And that memory, that's your greatest weapon. Every time you feel lost after this moment, come back here, replay this. Let the words remind you. Your destiny can be delayed, but it can never be replaced. You were designed to return stronger after every deception, sharper after every fall, quieter, but infinitely more powerful. So now the question isn't, who tried to steal my fate? The question is, who dares to stop me now? Let them watch you rise. Let them watch their fake timelines collapse while you walk, calm, focused, reborn, through the ruins they built to cage you. You're not revenge, you're restoration. You're not anger, you're alignment. You are everything they feared you'd become once you remembered who you are. And before this ends, listen closely. Yes, you watching till this final second, you're the heartbeat of this movement. You're not background noise in this story, you're the reason truth echoes this loud. So drop a comment below. Tell me you're awake. Tell me you felt that shift. Tell me you're taking your timeline back. Because this isn't the end of a video. It's the beginning of your correction arc. Your real story, your real chart, your real life. Stay sharp, Stay grounded. Stay unpredictable.